He will not pay heed to anybody, probably to father, to whom he has got great respect and affection. So father, who was then in Udupi, was informed. He rushed up. As soon as he saw Papa, he knew nothing was wrong with him. So he asked him what is happening. So Papa said, God is making him to repeat his name. We are all repeating, for the past 3 or 4 or 5 decades. We are asking ourselves, do we feel that? Very important. That means even in a very short time, because the intensity was there, he was able to rise above the sense of individuality, and he knew the sense of individuality is actuated by him. So, including the chanting. All the activities of the sense of individuality are actuated by the indwelling reality, God. So, this Nama chanting is also there. So, that is why spontaneously he could say that God is making him to repeat the name. This is the crux. This is the aspect, pivotal aspect. We are asking ourselves, do we feel that? Then later on, when we started going through the dialogue again and again and again and again, we realize that if we have realized that he is making us to chant, then whatever is done by me is done by him through me. That is why in such a short time he handed over everything to the indwelling reality. We are all trying for that. Accepting that, we are trying everything. We need not bother about anything. Now this one has to keep on coming. God is making me to repeat the name. How to do that? Each one has to try and find out. It is a technique that has to come from. That means when we show our earnestness, exclusiveness, intense aspiration, commitment, then this is revealed to us. Until such time he gives a long rope and making us to feel that we are chanting the name. This particular dialogue should not be just heard and this contains the whole spiritual journey and the spiritual summit. Talks of Ramdas. Accepting that everything will be there. Not necessary. Not necessary. These are all the words. Everybody can read? Huh? When he was passing through this state, everybody can read? Ramdas's father, by his old birth, who later became his guru, heard about his condition and got alarmed. Many disturbing reports reached him that Ramdas was behaving strangely and was neglecting worldly duties. They considered that it was all due to some derangement of his brain, which could be cured by medicine. Such was the impression people had of him, and not necessarily heard of him, and that was conveyed to his father, who was then in Udupi. As soon as he heard this news about, he ran down to see him. He looked at Ramdas, understood him. Ramdas was seen repeating Ramnam always. He had lost all interest in the world. Father asked him, "Son, what are you doing?" Ramdas replied, "God is making me repeat Ram Ram." At that time, Papa was chanting only Ram, 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 Ram. God is making me repeat Ram Ram. He looked happier and addressed Ramdas. "Instead of your repeating only Ram Ram, I will give you a mantra which I received from a sannyasi. Just take it." He called Ramdas inside the house, initiated him with the mantra Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. "Son, if you repeat this mantra constantly, you will attain eternal happiness." So even prior to the labeled initiation, he had got what he wanted. Even the initiation has not taken, if at all we call it as an initiation. Because he started in his own, but he was very clear, no? That is why he said, meditate and chant. He started with meditating and then chanting. Elsewhere, that is why he said, ceaseless repetition of Ramnam, side by side. This is the word he used. He was contemplating on the various attributes of what this Ram stands for. Today, why we are trying, we have only one sadhana, that is Ramnam chanting. We have passed through so many, but still we are not clear about what is to be attained. God realization, all those things are big, big words. Simple word, Simple word is that he is making us to think, he is making us to talk, he is making us to chant. So to begin with, is that God is making me repeat Ram now. Though we cannot say the entire spiritual journey is over for him, the major part is over, even in that short time. Then we are start thinking, we are also do it. We have never felt that he is making us to repeat Ram Nam, in spite of room chanting for so many times. So here, clear cut. That is why later on he was blunt enough to say, if we feel that we are repeating the Ram Nam, even if he repeats Ram Nam lakhs of time, he cannot improve. Blunt. Even if he repeats. Why even after 30 years that sadhu could not tell? So, because he was repeating the name with the feeling that he was doing it. Let him repeat like that for 100 years, still he will remain the same. So as a bhakta, we try to develop. You are making me to repeat your name. You must make me to reach that stage. Because now, even though I know intellectually, I have accepted everything intellectually, still when I do chanting, when I'm thinking, when I'm talking, I always feel I am doing it. The kartrutva bhava, the doership is with me. So through Ram Nam, there could be so many methods. Papa employed this method. That is why he said no other sadhana is necessary. Japa sadhana is more than enough. So why? Because through that we are trying to realize or experience that he is making us to chant. So this one day Mauna sadhana is an opportunity given to us to find out how do we develop a technique, a methodology by which the sense of individuality realizes that even the very act of chanting is made possible because he is doing it. He gave me a human birth. He gave me a body, mind, intellect complex. He made, he provided everything that is necessary for my very existence through Mother Nature and through society. But I did not know all these things. I have been thinking that I have done, I am losing, I am earning, I am keeping. Never it has struck to me that all these things have been provided by him. Even the very act, the very act of living, I know later on slowly, intellectually, I all know that the heartbeats, all that is basically necessary for me are not done by me, but still I feel I am the doer. The humbleness and humility has not still come. That will come only when I realize that it is he who is doing. Let us be very clear about what he is prompting us, piloting us for the 21st program. It is clear cut that through Ram Nam we are trying to realize that he is actuating everything in me. First, as a test dose, we feel even the very act of chanting is actuated by him and him alone. This particular portion was not there in Quest of God. Because later he said there are so many things which Ramdas had not written. So he, in talks of Ramdas, he has made this. As soon as he heard this news about his son, he ran down to see him. Who, father? He looked at Ramdas, understood him. Ramdas was repeating Ram, 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 Ram always. He had lost all interest in the world. Father asked, son, what are you doing? Ramdas replied, God is making me repeat Ram, Ram. So that is why he says we must always feel. If somebody says, you are repeating so many, uh, how can a sadhaka know whether he is progressing or not? Each one can read for oneself if he examines his mind. So 21st is an opportunity to examine our mind, watching our mind, what he is thinking, desiring, where there are cravings, desires, hankerings. Do you think the mind is in tune with God? Some people may admit, I am repeating the name, but the mind is wondering, what can I do? The cause is, he thinks he is doing it. He must be humble enough to admit that God is doing it. You- I am repeating the name, but mind is wondering, what can I do? Practical problem. No? The cause is, he thinks that he is doing it. He must be humble enough to admit that God is doing it, not merely saying it orally, but feeling so. It must become a consciousness experience. Whenever he is told that he is repeating the name, at once he must be able to say, God is making me repeat God's name. Our sufferings are due to the assumption that we are doing everything. So we are asked to surrender. I am nothing, O God, you are everything. I do nothing, O God, you do everything. We must pray to him so that we may remember him. Then our ego will slowly leave us. So this is the, we can say, when we keep on thinking about why did he prompt us to take it upon a very serious level. It is not for any other thing. Only thing is we are all chanting Ram Nam to make it more and more effective. He has prompted and he is slowly facilitating everything for that. God is making me repeat his name. We may be thinking about the function of the senses during this period, functions of the body, functions of the mind, function basic is pranayama, and then finally to how to make it still. During that 45 minutes we may try, but still you will find the mind running away, running riot. So at that time we start chanting, mental chanting of Ram Nam. Through mental chanting Ram Nam, Papa has assured that we will realize this. Because when we keep on chanting mentally, we will start slowly hearing our own Ram Nam. In other words, we facilitate for the emergence of the witness consciousness. And the witness consciousness, he declared, the watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. So the sense of individuality recedes, the real nature takes over. So every now and then, again we are back. So we again, for example, when you say senses, the five senses, then we slowly apply this. God is making me to repeat his name. God is making me to see things through my eyes. God is making me to hear through the ears he has provided. God is making me to taste through the tongue he has provided. So he is there. Slowly we keep on hammering. God is making me to touch through the skin. Like there's all these panchendriyas, senses. When we keep on dwelling upon it, we also take the power behind it, the power behind it, the power behind it. Again, the mind may go here and there. This we are watching. Immediately we do something by which one of these acts are no. We try to experience that. It will be a mount session. Many may be close their eyes. So immediately we will just open. Not to see any object. But no seeing is a reminder to us. Again, immediately we close. So seeing is made possible. Hearing is, we may hear the chirping of the bird. We are sitting in our seat, we can feel it, no? The only thing is that is denied is due to, at the time of the tongue, no? So we are now, that is one suggestion has been given, in this. So senses, then we come to our body. Major activities, what you call vital activities. We hear some truth given out by doctors. For example, first, we hear 1 lakh times a day the heart beats. I was not aware at all. I start feeling the pulse. Previously, it was a knowledge. I start feeling the pulse. Tuck, 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 tuck. Suppose I say, just like any other thing, stop. Will it stop? If it stops, finished, So it's practical, Like that, so many activities have been given in that note. And then comes breathing. Because everything, when the breathing stops, everything gets stopped. We have never observed how does the breathing go on. Papa has point.
Like this we can do auto-suggestion.
Yeah. And then slowly, previously the mind was taking all these things. Now the mind is not taking. Mind is trying to become aware of the power behind it. When you say all this following what? We are repeating the word. But every activity we just like that we feel. Suppose we say I can stop my breathing. What happens after some time? So we directly experience that. Like that, any activity, a test is given to directly feel that. That is the power behind. And when I start doing it during the seven sessions, if by His grace we may get some experience, some glimpses about awareness of His presence. Any of this, I won't say everything. So for all that, initially you will find in that small booklet which we are preparing, Nama. So whenever there's still with all this, during these 7 hours, the mind might go out. Why might? It will go out. So at that time we start chanting Ram Nam mentally. Again we are trying to connect ourselves. Again we try to go through this. Again we try to connect ourselves. We get disconnected. We try to connect ourselves. We try to. So that means in between, if we fill with mental chanting of Ram Nam, it will help us to remain in that mindset. Otherwise, the mind may again go out. So everybody can start right from now. On 21st, we are making a what do you call it, a congregational effort. That's all right. Right from now, we can forget about all teachings of Papa. We can forget everything. But now we focus on this particular word. God is making me repeat His name. How do I make it a reality? Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. I may feel I am chanting, I am repeating. Again we try. No, 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 this is not what I wanted. This I have been doing it. I want you to realize that you are there. I know the life force is there within me, consciousness, awareness is within me, intelligence is within me. All these things we have heard. And we intellectually agree also. With all these things, still I feel I am chanting. That is why this life force, life force instead of a theory, when we try to feel the pulse, when we try to feel the various, how does my hand I can move like this? I'm trying. Then through medical science, God reveals, 6 liters of blood is passing through 1,20,000 kilometers in a day, right from my head to toe. They have plumbed deep and they brought it out. That is why from head to toe I am in a position to move about. One thing I am very clear, I have no hand in it. I am not even aware. Until the doctor said, I am not aware that 6 liters of blood is passing through 1,20,000 kilometers in my body. So with that we try to go within. We try to make some small movement within our. Yeah. How do I do this? How does the eyeball go this and there? Who is behind this? There is least disturbance, so we try. We might be able to get a glimpse. So this particular word of Papa, it is the what do you call it? It is all sufficient. How do we reach that stage? Everything is now boiling down to this particular one. So when he chose to concentrate upon this particular, we thought we should share with you all. We give an elaborate list of what all sadhanas we are doing, without understanding a simple way of actualizing the goal. And it is not impossible because he was also Vittal Rao was like anybody. He was a family man, family problem, professional problem, social problem, so many things. He did not just get dropped from the sky.
Swamiji,
Ah,
this seems to be the key point.
this is the key point. This is the key point. That's why we said, even if you forget everything, we have only Ram Nam and this particular word. Every now and then we chant, or vocally, mentally. Watch what is happening. Does this sense of individuality go and own? Somebody should ask, then only we will know. No? What are you doing? Are we in a position to say, God is making me repeat his name? No? Or honestly, we feel we are repeating the name. 99% of us probably we may feel, with all this, we may still feel. So let us not get dispirited. I have to again struggle. I have to again struggle. I may be doing so many other things under the banner of sadhana, but it all comes down to this: handing over lock, stock, and barrel to that power. It is not that somebody has told it is not a dictum or a dogma thrust upon. No, 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 no. It is the very reality which I have not realized. So, in a calm and serene atmosphere, in a conducive atmosphere, when we sit and uh, pray to Him, you have given so many to us. You gave me a sense of individuality, made me to feel that I am what I am, and then made me, and at a particular moment, you drew me to yourself. You made me to realize. You gave me the holy Ramnam. But still, though I was doing it, there was some inexplicable bliss or happiness, some impact on my life, outer life. That is all there. It has given me. Even the very urge to know this, it has come because of your grace of drawing me towards you and making me to take up so many sadhana. But still, the central theme, I have not been able to get focused. You have made me known through your teachings that spontaneously this should come. God is making me repeat. That means it should become an experience, something like you learn the cycling. The cycle balance is also there, is there always at your whenever you need, otherwise it will keep quiet. To have that license, you would have made me to fall so many times, and ultimately the balancing act came from within. That also I realized. You taught me through that cycling process. So similarly, this is inside. You please make me to bring it out. Let me not get satisfied with anything less. So far, along with Ramnam, all my physical comforts are also being taken care by you, but I never gave you that credit. I was appropriating to myself only. I have got this, I have got that, I am okay. All these things are there. I have never brought you in the picture. But on some sattvic time, or when I visit Anandashram, or when I go through Papa, when I think about Papa, when I remember this word, God is making me repeat, this aspect it does not touch me at all. I was reading it. Many of you would not have read this because it is not there in the inquest of God in this way. It is there in different ways, but this simple fact, he revealed it and recorded it in Talks of Rama. And later on, we brought out a small book, password to chanting, password to connect to the divine within. In that, we have taken so many from God experience. Many are from God experience, and also from this. So then he says, I am repeating the name, my mind is wandering, what can I do? Cause he thinks he is doing. He must be humble enough to admit that God is doing it, not merely saying it orally, but feeling. It must become a consciousness, not a thought. So whenever he is told that he is repeating the name, how many times I have seen you repeating the name? You are always with your mala. Your lips are always chanting. Suppose when somebody says, Papa says, at once he must be able to say, God is making me repeat God's name. Please mute, please mute. And if we get some thread, we will be able to stretch it to one by one, one by one. Again, we may forget, doesn't matter. First, we are trying to get it through Ram Nam. Next time our old habits come, I am chanting. Again, when he is making me to chant, why should I again say that I am chanting? Again I try, again I try, again I... How the child tries to get up, It rolls, tries to get up, cannot, tries to get up. Then finally one day it tries to get up, of course with the help of the mother. Then it starts walking. Otherwise it is only lying down, But the perseverance is there. First that rolling itself, is an act. We remember, whenever we go, these mothers, how it's a wonderful feat for them, So far he has not done, so it's a wonderful feat. And when he gets up, he has started. We have seen this when they were doing it. We were also happy, no doubt. But now we know. Step by step he is making us, but we did not realize that he is making us to do that. When we were asked to remember the tables, 2 into 2, 4, like that, 3 into 3, 9, like that. So when we learn it by heart and when we repeat, our parents, will say, oh, Purchashi. But we forgot to take the teaching. It was because of our perseverance, because of our commitment, because of our steady practice, we were able to do this. It did not just come. So then now we realize that we were chanting. We had faith in the words of the Master. When he said Ramnam is sufficient, so we thought chanting is sufficient. But chanting might be sufficient for many. To me it is not sufficient because I still feel that I am chanting. And if he opens up and makes us aware that he is making us to chant, he will definitely make us aware that all things are done by him gradually. We now remember, as spiritual children of Papa, it was in 1920 the turn came. It must be then 2 or 3 months, In 1922 he got stabilized, He was chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Always Ram, 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 Ram. It was not, unlike us, it was not merely a chanting. Because that particular word he says, in Quest of God you will find, in Quest of God, first chapter, first page. Thenceforward, a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram, not chanting. Who for that period gave him real peace and relief. So he was meditating. Gradually love for Ram, the giver of peace, increased. The more Ramdas meditated on and uttered his name, simultaneously going. So when I read this, I start, am I doing this? So this meditation according to him, is the one which made him aware of the power behind the sense of individuality. That was meditation. A constant effort through inward journey to feel the presence of the power. That is according to meditation. And to make it constant chanting. Meditated on and uttered his name. That is why in such a short time he was able to boldly declare, God is making me repeat his name. As we kept on chanting and feeling that I am not still, I don't feel his presence inside, then slowly he makes us to go to these utterances. While chanting, keep on reminding you are chanting the name of one who is within you, who is making you to chant. Even then, that became a statement, that's all to us, intellectual. It is not penetrating deep. I should stop there and start penetrating, no? Allow it. Even for a second or two. What does he mean? I must ask, You, when the chanting takes place, we should know we are chanting the name of one who is within us and who is making us chant. And he has shared with us how he did it. Nobody could understand this. When we sit silently, we have to be conscious in the first place that God we seek is in our own heart. Then mentally repeat his name. Make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease and it becomes perfectly still. So chanting should lead us to stillness. This also we should be clear, na? So from vocal chanting to mental chanting, and we are chanting the name of one who is within us, not outside. First, first lesson. Then second lesson, we try to chant. This chanting should ultimately lead us to the stillness. Mentally repeat his name, make the mind repeat the name until all the waves cease, then it becomes perfectly still. If it does not easily become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self-surrender. I am unable to do, please step in, intervene. Are you not hearing? Like that, no? Without you, I cannot do anything. You have not still given me the key to feel that that everything is yours. Something like that, no? With an attitude of self-surrender. I cannot do it by myself. Then we try to develop a witness consciousness. That we chanting is going on, chanting is being realized, chanting is being heard. Passive voice, Passive voice in present continuous. I am chanting. God is making me chant. Chanting is being made possible by God. No? So this slowly we try to develop. When we do that, the witness consciousness emerges. That means the power behind the chanting emerges. Makes it conspicuous. So we try to develop. This is a state of awareness. Then he qualifies. What is this? This is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. In fact, this awareness itself is God realization. He has given it in a capsule form. Mentally repeat his name, make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease and it becomes perfectly still. If it does not easily become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self surrender. We try to develop a witness consciousness. So we can say this leads to developing the witness consciousness. This is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us, whose name we are chanting. And finally, he puts it, in fact, this awareness itself is God realization. Now everybody can understand why did he say that this is all sufficient, Nama is all sufficient. No other exercise is necessary. But not the what we are doing. Those are all the primary stages. We have to step up. And he feels that slowly the time is nearing to all of us. Otherwise, he did not prompt us 10 years back, 15 years back, or 5 years back, or 2 years back. Now he is intensely urging, because probably he might be feeling that we are some sort of, what do you call it? Readiness. The mind can absorb. Previously, we were taking it as an intellectual. I know Papa has told. God is making me repeat them. Immediately the mind will say, it will put it in record, memorizing, bas. It will not allow us to go beyond it. So now probably Papa feels, we take it like that all of us are qualified now to enter the next stage. That is why he is highlighting this. Simple. God is making me repeat. God is making me to say these words. God is making the hand to do like this. God is making the finger to make a circle like that. Though Papa had given Nam, Dhyan, Seva, this Dhyan aspect we have never given so much of importance. And Seva also we thought, helping somebody is Seva. Any act that we do with the feeling that he is making us to do is called Seva. So initially we may feel helping others. Later on, Papa, Mataji explained in a simple word. Whenever I touch, I am touching Papa. Like a child, she was so innocent and then said, when I try to think that it is Ram doing, very difficult for me. But the moment I think Papa is doing it, Ram coming in the form of Papa, this is something tangible at that time, palpable. The other one is, we don't know that. So to her, Papa Swami Ramdas was an embodiment of Ram. So she said, when I say Papa is doing it, I am comfortable. And then I was free from all tension. But she was aware that Papa stands for what. Later on, she did, only the name is changed, Instead of Ram, she used Papa. And she brought out that Papa means Nirguna Niragara Shashvata Ananda Swarup. You must know who Papa is. Papa is Nirguna Nirakara Shashvata, all-pervading existence. And this one, as I went on doing what Papa had asked me to do, I began to identify every article I saw. be it a flower, a piece of cloth, or any other article, with its source, namely Papa. Did we read yesterday that first source of Mataji? No. Ah, yeah, yeah. Now it is appropriate to remember, Ali. Now, slowly Papa is directing us to all these today. With the Divine Mother, this has been beautifully expressed. In the morning, during the reading of the book Letters of Swami Ramdas, volume number 1, in Papa's room, Sri Ram had read out Papa's letter to Sri Shanti Vijayji, the Jain saint of Mount Abu. Mataji asked that it to be read out to her again in the evening. The letter, couched wholly in the highest Advaitic strain, extolled the saint in the following terms. O Lord, how gloriously pure you are. No? Indeed, to embrace you is to embrace the whole universe. You are the one, immutable, eternal, all-pervading, imperishable truth, beyond name and form, whose nature is pure splendor. Whose nature is pure splendor, light, splendor, bliss, and peace. The words are your manifestation. All form, change, and movement are the workings of your infinite Shakti. You are Saguna, you are Nirguna. You are the motionless, invisible, changeless, all pervading spirit. You are the moving, visible, changing worlds and universe. You are the one, you are the many. You are the eternal witness of your own play. As witness, you are immortal peace. As player, you are immortal love and anand. You are all in all. You are beyond the Sat and Asat. You are the doer and the non-doer at once. You are this is a very important word. You are the incomprehensible, inexpressible first cause. We are born to our parents. They were born to their parents. They were born to their parents. They were born to their parents. We can keep on repeating 24 hours. But we still don't know the first cause. Where from it started. Here he says, the first bindi, the first chili, the first tomato, the first coconut. You take anything, We know it has come from a seed. That seed has come from a tree. That tree has come from another seed. And wait. Which is the first seed? We don't know. So here Papa says, you are the incomprehensible, inexpressible first cause. You are higher than the highest, more perfect than the perfect, ultimate, grand, transcendental existence and reality. You are God of gods. Ramdas is your child. Blood of your blood, soul of your soul, being of your being, separate from you in love, one with you in spirit. In the evening, when the second reading ended, Mataji said with a smile, this one passage of Papa should be read by every bhakta daily till he learns the lines by heart. It contains the core of Papa's teachings, bringing out both the Nirguna and Saguna aspects of the Lord.
Swamiji, in love separate from you करके कहना था स्वामीजी.
என்னது?
In love you separate from you ன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அதுக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம்?
In love, there should be two, the lover and the loved. There are two. Then only you can express love. If you only are there, the love does not come, So when we have got a sense of individuality with a embodied self, we have got a body mind complex, and our relationship with Bhagavan is of me and my Bhagavan. In spirit, you are one.
Swamiji,
That, that is,
Swamiji,
eh?
like Hanumanji,
Like Hanuman.
said
Like,
about
yeah, exactly like Hanumanji. I was about to go to that ashram only. That word also Papa clearly mentions about. Here he says, he was once asked by Lord Rama as to who he was. He could boldly reply, as body, I am your humble servant. As an individual, I am a part of the Supreme Soul. I am a part of you. And as the Supreme Soul, I am yourself. As body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am a part of you. As, as the Supreme Soul, I am yourself. So, all these revelation can come only when we chant with the feeling that he is making us chant. So, more about it. Tomorrow is? We will meet on Friday. And there will be a special satsang on Saturday, 3:30. All the participants will be requested to be present so that we will again go through step by step. So that to some extent we prepare our mind. This is a wonderful golden opportunity given to us by Papa. Let us make use of it to the maximum extent. Whatever may be our limitations at the body level or mental level. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. Even if we do a little, it will help us a lot. That is why it is mentioned that suppose those of us who are not in a position to sit for the entire session, they can coolly get up, go, relax, come back. But even while relaxing, they will not talk to anybody because they will try to keep up whatever they have got, retain. Unlike now, we hear and then we forget, There is a conscious effort on our part to do the drilling, manana. Something of it will remain. But at the same time, the body may not permit because we are not used to it. Next time, probably the body will definitely hear. When we get a taste of it automatically, when we are involved in a work, whether it is in a professional field or even in ashram, we all forget about these bodily limitations. The moment we come, we find back pain starts, if you sit more than an hour. But when we are working 3 hours at a stretch, we find. So similarly, that technique will get evolved. And then we come back and join. But whether we sit in the hall or whether we relax, we will try to maintain the same mindset. This one day tapasya, So the details of which we will try to share more and more on Friday and Saturday. Because every time when we repeat this, it is getting concretized. When you are doing this casting on a roof, many of you might be knowing or might not be knowing. As soon as the mortar, metal, sand, and cement mortar is mixed and poured there, like this they chant, okay. And somebody will be there to do the leveling. And one person you will see, he will be having a small, what do you call that, rod, iron rod, small one. And he will keep on doing this to avoid any void in between, so that the concrete becomes concretized, you see. Otherwise there will be a gap, the purpose will not be served. So one will, after the mortar is applied in a uniform way, one will keep on, or a couple of people will go on doing like this.
Ramming.
Huh?
Ramming, they say.
What is that? Not fanning. Doing like this. What is it called? You can understand,
Ramming, you know something.
Spelling?
R-A-M-I-N-G.
Ramming. Yes. Take it. I could not hear. Okay. That particular act is ensuring that there is not a single void, not a gap. So that when in 6 to 8 hours, when the setting process starts, it becomes concrete. So similarly, we have heard so many things. We are now applying the mortar. So even when we retire, even if we are not sitting there, this should keep on going. So that whatever we are trying, whatever he made us to dwell upon it, it slowly gets fixed in us, concretized. So more on Friday. Hariyo.
Manana and
Yeah. Keep on. Manana. No other way. That is why he first said meditated and chanted. Manana precedes chanting. With the proper mental attitude of manana, the chanting goes on to sustain the movement. Now we try to understand the role of the chanting. Chanting is to sustain the process of getting more and more concretized manana. Unknowingly, we have not applied our mind the importance of manana, though chanting is going on. With the result, there is some joy. Even to think about a program is joyful, but when I come to during my off hours, non-chanting period, I am unable to connect. I am back to square one. Kindly think about it, please. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam, Swami.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Pranam, Swami.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Namaskaram, Swami.
Namaskaram, namaskaram,
Pranam,
namaskaram.
Swami. Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram, namaskaram, namaskaram. Pranam, 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 pranam. Plural, 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 plural. എന്നോ ചത്തമരിക്ക് കേൾക്കണതില്ലേ?
Friday evening, we are starting from here.
Oh, okay, okay. Welcome. Acha, you are joining, for the program. That's good. Yeah. Be here before 3:30. Saturday morning you are there. Correct.
Early morning they are coming.
Correct.
5 a.m.
Okay. Hari Om.
Only 13 people are coming from Chennai.
Okay.
Mare எப்படி இருக்கு Swamiji?
Malay, native it was horrible. Slightly it is less. But according to the report, we are pleading to Varuna Bhagavan.
Okay.
And 20th and 21st, you kindly reduce.
Okay.
We hope he will hear. Okay. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om. God is making me repeat his name.
Among the lakshanas like
No.
senses and
No.
other things, you mentioned about pranayama. Is it breathing or pranayama? Pranayama is exercise.
Breath control. Breath control.
Control is
You devise your own. No? We are not guided by outside.
usually we
In
call it
one of these articles, you used to say that
pranayama.
release of divinity. We have encaged the divinity within us through various concepts.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning you come, I will read it out.
Okay.
Beautiful. So we are not following anything.
Okay.
Whatever is coming, okay.
Yeah.
Immediately as soon as we say pranayama, we may have some meditation like this, we may have the feeling. Those are right, but Papa wants us to go beyond that. You define your own meditation. You define your own pranayama. Why should you go tomorrow morning?
Actually, I have
எப்போ போகணும்?
I want to donate something.
Tomorrow at what time you will go?
9:30.
9:30. 9 o'clock go.
morning 9
Card okay. Card you won't take. Debit card.
ಸುಂದರ ನಾವು ಸಂತಾಗಿ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಮಯ ಕಂತಿದ್ದೆ ತೊಂಬರಿ ಅವನ ನೀಚೆ
Tomorrow you said by what time? You said to come here.
I will read out them. Say, beautiful. You are deeply immersed.